on Hindu College's podcast. On behalf of Hindu College and TEDx Hindu, we all are really very flattered to have a robust alumni like you with us.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
So, sir, before I really dig into all the questions that I have regarding sports and regarding some things that would be some anecdotes related to Hindu College, I would really like to know about your motivation behind joining cricket and especially the role of Hindu College in it.
Well, that's a long story, but I was always fond of cricket. I saw the first test match. My first test match, which I saw as a spectator, was in 1958 when the West Indies had come. They were a fabulous team with Hall and Gilchrist as the fast bowlers, Gary Sobers, Rohan Kanai. There was Holt and Hunt. There was Collie Smith, one of the finest players in the world, who unfortunately died in a car crash. There was Lance Gibbs. So I used to go to school. Then I had my other elder brother who was 1 year older than me, so we were both in Columbus. And my eldest brother, he would come at 1 or 1:30 when school would close and take us to Kotla.
Okay.
And we would watch the match, and it was fabulous to watch a test match. And those guys were quick. The West Indian fast bowlers, Hall and Gilchrist. They were electricity. You couldn't see the ball from the outfield. And we were young, so we had good eyesight. So that was thrilling to watch. They scored 644 for 8. And we saved the test. That was the famous test where Chandu Bode scored 109 and 96 not out. So it was a very famous test match. That was the only test match in that whole series of 5 that was drawn. All the others we lost. And that series, there were 5 different captains in each match, Indian captains.
Okay.
So it was a very famous test match. Many people who saw that match will never forget it. So that was very exciting to watch. We didn't have much cricket in school. We had a little bit, one class.
What was your age back then, sir, when you were witnessing this?
I was 9 years old.
Oh, yeah. So,
So
at a very young age exposure to sports.
yeah, and I wanted to always play cricket at that time. In my family, I was only left-hander. Everyone else was right-handed, but I could never bat right-handed, even at that age. So I would always bat left-handed. So that was the start. But in my school there was nothing. Then I joined college and left college because I had been selected for NDA. So I joined Eco Honors. I was a good student. Even those days to get Eco Honors was not easy.
It's not even today. So.
Yeah. So I joined Eco Honors, and then I left it within a week or 10 days and told the principal, Dr. Bhatia, that I'm going to NDA to become a soldier. When I was there for 2 weeks, there was no cricket.
Oh.
So I said, what the hell am I doing here? So I said, I'm leaving NDA and came back. It's not easy to leave NDA also. It's very difficult. You have to pay them and all that. So anyway, and then Dr. Bhatia, my brother, contacted. He was in Delhi. And he said, oh, he's welcome back. So I rejoined Hindu College as a economics honors graduate.
So like during this time you had been into the Hindu College's cricket team?
No. I was in first year.
So you were more of like a studious
July,
student.
the cricket had not even started. And first, I used to stay very far. Those days there were no metro, nothing. So it would take 2 hours to reach college if you didn't take the U special. And cricket practice was after classes, so it started around 3 o'clock, 3:30 and go on till 7:30 and all that, which means reaching home at 9 o'clock. So I was reluctant, to be honest. I wanted to play, but the logistics were not convenient. So one of the cricketers of the college said, यार तेरे से ये बेकार तू खेल नहीं पाएगा. So I said, if I come to the ground, you will be out of the team. So my friendship with Rakesh Shukla, who played for India, started then. So when he challenged me, next day I was in the ground. And I played in my first year for the college team, though I batted number 5. In those days, those seniors who were there would play and then the juniors would come later. That was the system. In the final against St. Stephen's, I was 12th man. Because Hindu College had some students who were actually ex-students. They never attended any class, but they were admitted in MA previous so that they could play cricket if required. And one of them was Yogesh Khattar, who played a lot of cricket for MP and for Central Zone. He played first class cricket. He died recently. So he came for the final there were 25,000 people watching. It was play to finish matches, not like this 40 overs and all that what you have today. And that match lasted 6 days, and Hindu College lost
Against
on the 6th day.
Stephens.
Against Stevens. And the first day, Yogesh Khatter was fielding at third man, and he chased the ball and he put his foot out to stop the ball, and he tripped and his ankle went and he couldn't take any further part in the match, and I had to field throughout the match.
Oh.
So many mixed memories of that game.
And also, sir, when you listen to the interviews the cricketers are giving, they look up to that, I followed Sachin or I followed Yuvraj Singh or stuff like that. At your seniority level, who was your ideal back then?
Well, the players, India didn't have too many greats. India, as I say, lost that series when I saw. And in college first year and second year, there were not too many famous names. There were people like Patodi who was coming up and 66, 65, 66. So yeah, Patodi was there. But he was not a hero of mine. There were players, but I didn't really follow anyone. I just wanted to be a cricketer. That was it.
Only
so my
passion.
first thing was I should play for the college, and then get a college blue, whatever you call it, green maybe, and then play for the university if possible. That was the ambition, not more than that. If you played for the university, people heard of Oxford blue and Cambridge blue at that time, right? So if a Delhi University blue you get, that itself was a great honor. So that was all I wanted.
So the passion for the game was everything that you ever wanted, not the fame, not everything. That nowadays
the
is
fame
the
and all you get later, not when you're in college first year and second year. Right. That will come later if you prove yourself and if you keep going at it.
Yeah. So, sir, you were also a Delhi Districts Cricket Association's curator till 2014, and after that you gave a resignation on that post. So, if I may, what sort of was the reason behind just the resignation? Because nowadays when you hear even the BCCI, many people term it to be very politicized, that there is a lot of political connections that goes behind BCCI and the selection of the chief. So was the similar thing, politics like this, existing back then during your time also?
Yeah, it's always there. It has always been there. It's not something new. But that was not the reason why I left. I was also the chief curator of the BCCI then.
Oh.
Yeah, so I left in not acrimoniously, but it was a very big strain on me because I was going every day to the ground. They were due to pay me some money for my efforts. It was costing me almost 600, 700 rupees a day in terms of going there, spending the whole day there, and they didn't pay me. So how long can you take that? They've still not paid me, even till today.
Oh.
Yeah, so I left I think at the right time because the amount would have been running into maybe 5 figures or 6. So I think I left it at the right time because it was a waste of my time and effort.
Yeah.
The ground was banned. Delhi ground was banned in 2010 because the pitch was not properly prepared. And that is when Mr. Jetli, who was Arun Jetli, who was the president of the DDCA, called me to handle it and repair it and make sure that it gets back to the World Cup in 2011.
The same Arun Jetli who were in BJP, right?
Yes. So that's why I went and I got it back. I got the ground, once again back onto the. It was banned for a year. I got it back onto the circuit. I repaired the whole field and outfield, nets, everything. And what I did then is still working. Yeah. What you see today at Kotla in an international match or IPL or whatever is the effort which I made 2010-12.
And even the Indian pitch is also criticized many times. Like there was this.
No, that happens because when you play international cricket, you have got something called home advantage.
Okay.
So now South Africa pitches were also criticized, England pitches were criticized, Australian pitches have been criticized enough. So this is because you make it to suit your players when you play in home conditions. So we also followed the thing. So if they criticize, it's all right. That's what they can do when they lose. If they won in those things, there will be no criticism. So that's par for the course.
Okay. So taking down you back to the memory lane of Hindu College. Cricket is something which is consisting of a lot of passion, brotherhood, sometimes revenge also, friendly revenge. So what was your anecdote, like one of those anecdotes that you remember till now that happened with you when you were playing for the Hindu College's cricket team?
There are plenty of memories even now which are quite fresh. But I remember in my first year when we lost the match, none of the seniors ate food for 3 days. They didn't even sleep.
Oh.
They decided next year we're going to beat them. Till then we'll work doubly hard, and till then we're not going to go out. We're not going to, freak out here and there.
And they had lost against who?
St. Stephen's.
Saint Stephen.
So when Hindu and Stevens played in those days, they would play to finish matches. I played 3 finals against. I played more. In fact, throughout my career in Hindu, I did MA in economics from the school. So, and playing for college. So, 5 years we played St. Stephen's throughout and each match was played to finish. And sometimes the match lasted 5 days, sometimes it lasted 6 days. So both the innings had to be completed. One team had to win. That is how it was played. So those were different times. The whole university used to be closed. In
Just
the main
for the
newspaper,
Hindu and
in the
match.
whole university, 25,000 people would be watching the match. And we would practice 7 hours a day. Right? And total different scenario from what you see today. And the players who excelled in that final were called to the Delhi Ranji Trophy nets. Straight. Or university nets. That was the passport to playing first class cricket.
So it was like the selectors used to be there when
Yeah.
this match was
Even
happening.
foreign cricketers, Indian cricketers would come and watch that match. The Times of India, for example, would have a photo on the first page of the newspaper, and the last page, the sports page, would have headlines. 8 columns, 6 columns of the match. That's how big it was.
That's a really good recognition.
Yeah.
Sir.
Even today, I meet people who talk about. I played a lot of cricket after that.
Uh-huh.
I played for the university, the zone, Delhi, the rest of India. I was manager of the Indian team. I was curator, whatnot, right?
Yes.
Commentator, what? Still, people remember the finals that we played when they meet us somewhere socially. They say, "I remember that match." Because there's a sense of belonging to an institution which is only there in school and college. After that, you're playing more for a state or you're playing for a zone. That feeling doesn't come. That you're playing, you become a little individualistic also as you go higher.
Yeah.
There is team and all that, but you have to excel, otherwise you're out for the next match. So it becomes a little personal that I have to do well. If I do well, the team will do well. So that goes on.
So it's like a positive peer pressure that you have in the team.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a continuous exercise where pressure is always there, whether you're playing for India or you're playing for the state or you're playing for the zone.
And so just like you said, when you had lost match against Stephens, your senior decided to just not eat anything and double the practice. So obviously there are a lot of mental constraints that one has to do, especially a sportsman in their field. So how was your experience with fighting those mental battles before actually going into the physical battles?
I'll give you an example. 1978, one of the Delhi boys, my teammate, came to my house and said, "If you don't score, you will be dropped from the Delhi team. I've come to convey a message to you." I said, "Fine, come and have a cup of tea with me or have a meal with me." No, I've been sent to give you this message. I said, "Of course, if I don't score, I'll be out. What's new about it? Why should that affect you coming into my house and having a meal or a cup of coffee with me?" And I scored over 1,000 runs that year in first class cricket at an average of 98.14. And I said, "Now drop me." So they made me captain of North Zone that year. So that's how we played. We played with a determination that we will not take any muck from anybody. If you're good, you're there. If you're not good, you're out. That's the spirit in which we played. And that's how we survived maybe for 10 years at first class level.
Yeah, and also sir, the motivation behind asking this question was that nowadays the Gen Z, that is termed as the new generation, Gen Z is sort of termed as very soft. So many times, some little things happen, some little harsh things happen to them or the team or any one player. They feel down, they feel out. So I think that
Look,
is there.
When we played those days in the 60s and 70s, there was something called a Gabriel's shock absorber, which was used in cars. Right. It's a shock absorber. And before any team was likely to be selected, we used to say, get few shock absorbers and keep it ready. Because even if you deserve, you may not get into the team. Because there are selector preferences, captain's preferences, all these things come in. Politics, as you put it, not merit. So there's no sympathy at that level. If you're crying, if you're moaning, there was no money also.
In cricket back then?
Nothing. We got 5 rupees a day or something like that. When I played Ranji Trophy, we got 15 rupees. So it's not as if, and we had left careers, we could have become IAS, IFS, whatever. We were good students. If I could do an MA from D school, you can imagine. But in those days, there was no money. So, we had parental pressure that you must stop playing and do studies, so that you can, otherwise you're spoiling your career. There was no future in cricket, unlike today, where you can get a lot of money and be compensated for your efforts. You can be a professional cricketer. Such a thing didn't exist when we were there.
So
You just played for love of the game.
So did a lot of persuasion went into your family when you decided to pursue a path in cricket?
Of course. If I left NDA and came, you can imagine I left a career and came. So my father was a bureaucrat, very senior bureaucrat. My brothers were Rhodes Scholars. I don't know if you guys know what a Rhodes Scholar is, right? So they were academic. One was a professor and head of department, the principal of a college in Delhi. So that's the family background. So from that to get into sports, you can imagine they were saying that you're wasting your time. You'll beg on the streets of Delhi. That's what my father used to tell.
And what were your thoughts when you became?
Well, he was
sort of
right.
success?
He was right. My father was right, because we didn't make money in our generation. Now we get a pension from the board because we played 80 matches or 70 matches, which 1 month's pension would probably be more than all the money we got playing cricket in those days. Right? So it's different era.
Also, sir, you wrote the book Cricket Then versus Now. With regards to that only, even this particular one line, Cricket Then versus Now, earlier you better know what cricket was and how it used to work, but now it's like you become popular in one match. There are multiple people watching you. You will get brand deals, you will get brand endorsements, everyone is behind you, you're the center of the limelight. So all these things happen. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the player should understand that fame is temporary. You fail in 3 matches, the same guys who are applauding you will curse you and say this guy shouldn't be in the team. What do you do then? So, you should have the equanimity to handle fame as well as grief. Because this is you can't succeed all the time. The percentage of success in any sport is minuscule. Even Tiger Woods doesn't win every time he plays golf. Right? So that's sports. You have to take the good with the bad. Both are learning. When you do well, you should understand what worked for you. When you lose also, you should know what corrections you have to do and how to improve. So that's the spirit you should have. So, there will be people who praise you and say you're the best. Take it. I mean, this flattery doesn't help. You have to just ignore it. You can always say thank you and move on.
Who do you really like at the moment in the current cricket team?
And I think they're getting so many opportunities, which never happened in our time. Right. So they should make the most of it. You're not going to get. I like Kohli a lot because his approach is good, his fitness is excellent, his off-the-field behavior is good, he's truly committed, and he's a good icon and a role model. That's what these guys should be. Being abrasive and loud is not helpful. I see now sports people, forget cricketers, if they don't get Arjuna award or any of these awards which are floating around nowadays, they protest. Can you believe such a thing happening? I mean, the great Dhyan Chand didn't get the awards that were due to him. Hitler offered him generalship of the German army. He said no. Sorry. He was not given Dronacharya award. He was captain of the hockey team when we won, I don't know how many Olympics under him. There was no player like him. Just as we talk highly about Don Bradman these days, people of that era who saw Dhyan Chand say he was the Bradman of hockey. Imagine the tribute they given him. These are seasoned journalists who tell me this. I know his son very well, but that was a different era. There was no money in hockey. Even though they won Olympics and all, they were given one medal there, that's it. Nothing else. Today, if a person doesn't get an Arjuna award or a Padma Shri or whatever you call it, Padma Bhushan or whatever, Vibhushan, Then they protest, they go to the media and shout that these guys have been unfair. They go to the Supreme Court, file a case. I mean, what ridiculous. You don't beg for awards. Awards should come to you. Not that you go begging for it and say you given that guy, you haven't given me. It's not fair.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Moving towards the end of this conversation and seeing so many things, hearing from you about sports, about college, all those anecdotes, I can really feel myself over there. Hindu College is this year marking its 125th years anniversary, and it's a very, very robust moment for all of us. So, if you could give just one piece of advice to all your fellow super juniors, I would say, what would be that piece of advice?
Well, I think the best time of your life is when you're in college. You'll never get this time again. So I think they should enjoy the moment. They should make the most of it. I'm sure the Hindu college standards for education are still very high. I think there's also you can inculcate good habits, stay away from temptations. Nowadays there are far too many. They were there even in our times, right? To have a smoke here and have a drink there was also to go to Miranda House was also there, right? But okay, that should not be your only thing in college life. There's to be a lot more. Spend some time in the library. Spend some time in the different. Try and meet people there, from not only from your, discipline, but also from other branches, so that after you leave college, you form a brotherhood or a friendship or a fellowship with all your peers. And that will carry you far. So because even today, many of our people who are alive, some regretfully passed away, we still meet, we still talk to each other. We have WhatsApp groups and things. Hindu College Cricket, we also have a WhatsApp group, and we stay in touch with each other. But maybe the present generation, we don't know too many people. Obviously, they're all busy with their studies and other things. But I look forward to the get together on the 20th of January. Eagerly looking forward to it. I've told many of my friends, because that's the only way we can interact with the present generation and find out what's happening. I regret that the college grounds are not all that good. That needs to be. I talked to the principal several times. I've even offered to help in whatever way I can. I think that should be put right, and it's okay if you have good facility infrastructure, it will be used, and that will have its own impact. So I think there needs to be some money spent on that. I hope it is.
I hope she listens to this. Honestly, we are also looking forward to host you, sir.
Thank you.
Pleasure of TEDx Hindu and Hindu College to host you on this podcast.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
I hope this small conversation could be of greater help to all the students, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.